Hi, this is Charlie Mato-Toyela with another video on the Native American Flute. This video is going to be a follow-up to our flute making kit, which I have here in front of me, one that I've already put together and sanded. And what we're going to do with this guy is today we're going to exercise maybe a different type of way to do this track area. I figured that a lot of the videos that we've done in the past have given you ideas on how to do the track area, but I thought we would do one specifically on our flute kit. So if you want to watch me do this, we're going to use nothing more than one of the pieces of sandpaper that come with the kit, and just go ahead and make the track, like I say, which is the most difficult part of any flute. If you've watched my other videos, I do make it look easy as possible, but I've been doing this for, at this point, 27 years. I want to make sure that I give you another way to do it, which might be easier and even safer than the way that I've done it in past videos. So you come down and zoom in on this and take a look at it with me. We're going to utilize one of the pieces of sandpaper. Your sandpaper may look a little different because as time goes on it may change and use different qualities or grades or what have you. We're always looking for the best grade. What I've done here is I've taken one piece of sandpaper, I've folded it in half just to make it fit my hand better and so that I can grasp it a little better. I've told you guys about this before. And I'm going to fold it one more time, but I'm not going to completely crease the end of it here. If you watch me, I'm going to grab it down here at the end, and then I'm going to push up on it just a little bit. Pushing up on it there actually makes a small micro sanding pad. You see what I've done? Not really a whole lot to it. And we're going to use that micro sanding pad here just to kind of very carefully go back and forth. You want to keep in between these two holes. Now, I've got one friend that sent me some pictures of flutes that he's made, and really some nice ones that he's made by watching our videos here. And he's done the same procedure. It takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of expertise. It's kind of tricky keeping your hand going the same direction, but like I said in the previous flute kit video, it's best to take your time. Taking your time is the real trick. I'm just going to go back and forth here, try to keep it as flat and straight as possible. I'll turn around one more time. I think for you guys at home, this is probably a really effective way to make your flute track. It's going to be a little dished out, which means it might be a little airier than what I prefer, but simplicity-wise, I mean, this is really the simplest way. You have to go back periodically and make sure that your little sanding area here is nice and flat. Trying not to make my Billy Bob Thornton face, my sling blade face here. Okay, so we have a little bit of a track there. I think you can see that. Let's just try it out and see what it sounds like. It might sound good, might not, I don't know. Let's find out. Just kind of put this block over the top hole and right up to the edge of the bottom hole. Not quite enough air supply yet. So let's go back, look your track area over, see which part of it needs to be more deep than the other parts, and sand it down a little bit. If it seems like it's rounding off too much, you might want to use a smaller part of this. Like I'd mentioned in the earlier flute kit video, a fingernail file, one of those little cardboard cheap disposable fingernail files, might do you a good job. One of my other friends had mentioned that before earlier too, and I wanted to make sure I mentioned it in the video because it works for him pretty well. You can cut those with a regular pair of scissors. Listen to me, pair of scissors. That's hilarious. Lived in the South too long. Pair of scissors. All of our UK and Irish customers are probably, or viewers are saying, pair of scissors? What is wrong with this guy? One of my Aussie buddies. Hey, Paul and Livy. Pair of scissors. He's going to send me a message on Facebook now. Let's see. That's a little deeper. if you've noticed, but it's not quite as wide as I want it. So let's see what it sounds like. It might sound good. Let's see if it plays some notes here. And that's okay. The sandpaper is doing well, but not quite to the full extent of what I want. So I'm going to try to see if I can press this down. If not, I'm going to show you a technique that one of my other buddies does, one of my good flute making buddies. Old Choctaw guy showed me. If you've noticed though, I don't know if you can see that, but as I pushed down, I didn't cut with my knife, I just used the flat edge of it, which means you can use the flat edge of a screw or anything, something metal, and I just pushed down, and it made the most awesome little track here, just by pushing down. Also flattened it out real nice for me too. And then after doing that, if that doesn't seem like it's enough, you can go back and sand it a little more. You gotta be careful, don't put too much force, because of course this beautiful flute is made to withstand some weight, but you know, 200 or 300 pounds worth of pressure might be too much for him, I'm thinking. Pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. Happy flutes. Pushing in. Okay, let's see what that does. Now we're, once again, just put in the block on top of the track area so that it covers the top hole and is right at the very edge of the next hole. And I'm thinking that I'm going to show you guys my other procedure. So my buddy Will showed me this. He uses a just a regular run-of-the-mill chisel, and I know some of you guys that watch my videos all the time have seen this chisel. Inexpensive. It's made by a company called Buck Brothers, made in the USA. You can get chisels just about anywhere. The real trick about this one is it's sharp, and I traded this for my X-Acto knives that I couldn't buy blades for in a second. You got to be careful too, because you can stab yourself with this chisel. You can run too hard and take off too much flute. But I've got to tell you, if you're not using fire to do this the way that I do, which our flute rods, burning rods, have gone up on the web now, available for sale. Or maybe they're about to, I forget. Really close anyway, in time. But if you're not careful, you can take off too much. But once again, my buddy Will uses these things left and right, and I've used it for my X-Acto knife forever and a day now. Keep the track straight, get rid of all this extra fiber, keep it as straight as possible. If you haven't yet watched our video, please make sure you watch our video, The Secret to Flute Making, The Secret to Native American Flute Making, because we focus on this one area right here, and I'm going to give you all the ins and outs of it. Now we'll go back and kind of lightly sand it. We're going to take off too much more, because that's a pretty deep track as far as flutes go. If it's got an airy sound, I definitely recommend watching that video. Airy sounds are the first major flute deal that you'll have to run into. It's not really a mistake, it just means that you haven't gone all the way to where you can go with it yet. But, let's put this guy back down and see if that supplied a little bit more air in the direction we want it to go. That sounds a lot better. So what we're going to do next, let's see. So after I go back over this a little bit, get some of these pieces out, you're going to get all these chunks of wood out. If you don't, it'll plug up your hole. Best way to do that, cover this hole and blow. But after we get this guy playing, one of our next videos is going to be tuning, and that might help you. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to tie some leather on this guy and check him out, see what keys in, and use my fancy little cell phone tuner device and all that kind of stuff. And we'll make a video specifically on that, so any of you guys want to learn to tune your flute that haven't seen our flute tuning videos, have some way that you can associate it with what you're making here, because this is exactly what your kit's like when you get it at home. In which case, Charlie Mato-Toyela signing out for another flute making video. Please visit our website, bluebearflutes.com, and also our Facebook page, which is under Blue Bear Arts. You just Google Blue Bear Flutes or Blue Bear Arts, you'll find us one way or the other. Take care, and happy flute making.